Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the meta report for this 3v3 season. Just going to be taking a look at what the best defensive 3v3 teams are, what counters them, and what doesn't counter them. Going to be using JC Insight, and obviously there's a near infinite combinations of potential datacrons and comps, so I'm just going to focus on kind of the more densely populated comps and datacron choices, what I think are the best usually. But to start, we're going to look at the top holding squad. So these are the top squads by hold rate that also we're seeing a lot. Top one being Rey, Ben, and Ezra, and second being Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra. So both of them have the most recent Conquest character unit on them and are doing quite well. Now, I think the best comp or counter for this is just Malgus and Starkiller. We're going to look at that. But Ahsoka, as the newest GL, I'm not surprised. She has the highest hold rate, one of the highest hold rates, because people don't really know what to do about her. Leia, also really high hold rate. And what's kind of surprising is Bosk up here. That is because of Dengar with his Quran. But Zam there too. Dengar is the damage and the recovery, and Zam's providing stats, and Bosk is a shield. So no surprise that's good, but I am surprised that it's really high. Next we got Bastilla JML and Watt. Now this one's tricky because if they have a high health build, Luke, and then Watt's gonna automatically put the tank deck on him. He's gonna recover that bonus protection, and even Sith Eternal has a hard time if you don't play it right. We've got Starkiller up here, Mon Mothma with Luthen. That's interesting. I think Luthen goes better with Saw. We got Reva, Jabba, Tuskens, Baylan. Lord Vader's down 21%. And then a smattering of teams we see perennially around here, but aren't really doing super well anymore. So that is top squads. Let's just start going through with the beginning. I'm actually going to look at these two teams because they were on the second screen of this list. So I just handpicked them out to look at. And then we're going to go exclusively from this front list after that. So Rey, let's look at Ben, and let me see how Fulcrum is doing. Because there are a fair amount of those, because she does have an Ufu Kron. Smash Bros, as I call them, Malgus and Starkiller doing just fine. Standard Malgus without Starkiller doing good too. So I know, and Starkiller 57% standard Starkiller. So I don't know. I would just use standard Malgus here if I came across it and saw 83% and feel good about that. But it is demanding one of those kind of standard Rey counters. Bane does fine. Queen Amidala 81% even. So I mean it's an option for Fulcrum, but and then let's look at Ezra, because that is the strongest performing one. Not going to filter by any particular datacron. But we have Malgus, Starkiller, only 78%, so that's kind of surprising. So it's still holding even against that comp, which is the best. But if you don't have Ahsoka, you're still getting good value out of having Ezra with Rey. Leia 69%. This is a legit team. 7% win rate for JML, only 11% for JMK. Holy crap. 60% for Slicker. Yeah, no, this is legit. So like keep setting that. Even though there's like kind of a known approach to it, it's not gonna be easy. I mean the mirror is 86, but wow. Those are some low win rates. My goodness. Okay, that's impressive. Yeah, if you don't have Ahsoka, you are not being punished for not having her, which is great because I don't have Ahsoka. All right, and then speaking of Ahsoka, let's look at her requirements. So one of my opponents set this last week, and I anticipate him setting this time, but I filtered by General Syndulla, Hu Yang, and Fulcrum, and with the Fulcrum Kron. I didn't filter by the level 6, but this one seems pretty tough. It's demanding something good like Malgus or Reva. Gas is only 50%. The rest of these are, GLs. Traya 85%, that's fine, but only 7% for CLS. Bo-Katan 100%. So you kind of need like an A-tier team. I guess Dark Trump getting it. Okay, maybe it's not that impressive, but even with the Fulcrum Kron, this Fulcrum Kron seems like it's solid gold, but not really translating so much yet. Okay, so let's do Bo, IG-12, and Paz. Encounter Starkiller, Traya, Slicker's working well. C has it pretty easily. Only 37% for JMK, which is kind of crazy. So I think probably in reverse we'll see Bo doing pretty well against JMK. At least JML does fine with it. But I think Bo-Katan's a pretty like a sleeper defensive team. Like people just put her on offense, bring her on offense, kind of to easily handle Lord Vader if they come across it. But I think she's not a bad call on defense either. So, yeah, pretty dang solid. And now let's consolidate all our tabs. Moving on to Jabba, Percent and Boosh. You gotta stick with that. And most common Gron. I don't know how much the tank is. Let's do this stun thing. Slicker JMK are kind of classic evergreen counters to Jabba, and they're still doing pretty good. Not like amazing. Night Sister's 35% is actually pretty high, so that just kind of signals to me that Jabba is in a weak state right now. It doesn't really have too much building him up. Lord Vader, I guess Thrawn is going to be better than Royal Guard, and Piet is going to be worse than Thrawn. Aphra, yeah, I would not try that. Starkiller actually pretty decent shot, 68%. I would assume that's with Starkiller Kron. Queen Amidala, 75%. That is not bad. She is just a phenomenal team. Some people try an Enoch, only 1% have pulled it off. That's probably just one. That's like one battle, actually. That's one person won that. Reva not working. Wow. That's kind of surprising to me because we have a Kron juicing up the Reva team, but nope, not really working. In 5v5, I think they're better to take on Jabba, but in 3v3, probably not as much. But yeah, you still need something good, like a GL, or if you're good with Night Sisters. Bo not really working. Ahsoka Fulcrum working. Great Brothers not so much. Okay, so yeah, limited options for Jabba. So Jabba's still a good defense. In 3v3, I think he's a lot better than in 5v5. 5v5, there's some more vulnerable choices. Yeah, the bulkiness one, I think that's a pretty clear-cut option for them. Bane. This is the most common use for Bane, I'd wager. Just makes it easy. JMK can do it. Reva, I'd be worried about wasting Reva with 65%. Traya, it's kind of a coin flip. JML's a coin flip. Leia works, but that's also very expensive. JMK, looks like it's better to bring in Ahsoka snips instead of a tank. Probably for that dispel. Jabba, Sith Eternal and Bane. Now that's just kind of a waste. Without Bane, 73% for Sith Eternal if you bring in Watt and a tank. But, so yeah, I mean, I continue to want to use Bane for Queen Amidala. I think it's good value. Great Mother's 54%. Baylan 87. I guess it's not terrible. Value for him. People trying this Thrawn Moff Gideon Short Trooper. That doesn't work without Moff Gideon Koran at all. Some people just saw the comp and probably tried it. But yeah, not too many options for Queen Amidala. You can just get straight up stuck. Qui-Gon, we always see Qui-Gon, but not too difficult to deal with. I guess let's add. There's no like one popular level 3, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Most people trying Bad Batch, but less than half. Less than 50% win rate, so I wouldn't want to do it. JML with just anybody can probably just do it just fine because it shuts off the Omicron. Newt, B1, and Jango, classic counter because Jango has damage immunity. B1 takes the infinite damage and only loses 8 stacks. Jedi Revan's doing fine. I'd guess Mace makes it a lot better. Mace win it, well, 83%. No, maybe I'm thinking of Zori. But Revan is doing fine. 87% is not bad. Archer Moff Gideon seems like a hard counter for it. Reva, Gungans. Gungans are especially good against it because they that shield generator allows them to tank so much damage. Lord Vader solo. Enoch is working fine there. Because they don't get crit. JML solo even. Yeah, a lot of, like, any GL you're bringing there that's going to make it easy. Gas 81% with Rex and 5s. Malgus has it. Bo has it. Wampa, no. I mean, I think the biggest value you'll get out of Qui-Gon Jinn is if someone tries Wampa or Bad Patch and it doesn't work. Because a lot of people seem to be trying that. Radis, not so much. Iden working. So yeah, Iden is good value too because there's not too many uses for her. So I would say Qui-Gon's not a great defensive team right now because Iden can work, and then Jedi Revan, like a standard Jedi Revan team, not even like with other legendaries, is fine. So yeah, that's Qui-Gon Jinn, not super impressive. Let's look at Leia because she is doing quite well. Drogon and Fulcrum. Alright, let me filter by Fulcrum. So a lot of people are using Drogon and Fulcrum. Let's see how that's working. Slicker 50%. Sith Eternal Bane 98. But that is Sith Eternal Bane. Mirror 83%, and I did that once. I came across this and used the mirror, but like standard comp. So that seems like a pretty good. Reva, no way. My gosh. So that's gonna scare. JMK 17%, no way. Standard Bane up to 3/4 percentage. But yeah, that's no joke. Baylan gets done. Queen Amidala 50%, JML 12%. My gosh. Yeah, that is no joke of a team. My goodness. Okay, so now let's look at the standard R2 comp with extra health and protection. Let's just do riposte as well. Slicker, armor, GBA doing fine, 80%. Throw Bane again, that's not bad, not good value. Straight up mirror, 68%. I guess Leia has an easier time going against a Fulcrum comp. Reva 28%. That's interesting because I lost a mirror and then went in with Reva and got it done. I think the trick with Reva, you need to let them cleanse themselves and then kill the Death Mark and leave R2 alive until Drogon's dead, because he is triggering a lot of the cleansing. JMK only 15%. Yeah, Leia is a really strong defensive team. 28% Jabba, 0% Great Mothers. Baylan 70%. I mean, Bane, some comps with Bane. Malik, pretty high win rate with Bane. Same with Count Dooku. So yeah, I think Bane is a good like worth the shot here. It's not 90% or 100%, but interesting. Ahsoka Fulcrum, 5 people did it. Or Ahsoka, GL Ahsoka. 5 people tried it, 3 of them won, even though it's kind of the hard counter. Yeah, that's a pretty strong defensive team. Moving on, Gungans. Let's do Jar Jar and Tarpals. I think that is the best comp. I'm not a fan of having Phalanx. You need some bite to it. I'm not going to pick a Datacron because they're all kind of whatever for it. Traya and Bo, pretty much the go-tos. Although Mon Mothma, Kyle, and Luthen are rock solid. We know all rock solid. Interesting, Reva has a hard time, 64%. And I think that might be one of the counters to Reva too that we'll look at. Boss Nass with Jar Jar and Tarpals, or even Tarpals and Boomadir. So I want to look at that because they can kill the sides easily. But yeah, Reva, interesting, not doing good. Radis, we don't have that crazy Rogue One Cron anymore, but they're still 80%, 85% for Great Mothers. I think Gungans are an offensive team now, so I would recommend bringing them on offense. They're super useful. Yeah, but not stopping too much nowadays. Lord Vader, 25,000 total scenes. People are still sitting Lord Vader. There is the Piet Cron, so let me actually look at that. But I think if it's on defense, you can just be savvy and not kill until the end. Yeah, like Bo-Katan still crushes it, so never mind. Let's not look at that. Let's look at Maul, and then to remember, it looks like Thrawn comp does the best against Bo. Beskar armor is better there. I in general think in 33 Thrawn is good for defense, so that does have a chance to stop Bo if you bring in Paz, but if you bring in Bam, it goes up to 95%. JMK 77%. JMK is not unassailable right now. Like, he's kind of like brought down to the level of mere mortal without the Plokron. Leia slam dunk at 98%. JML, which is my favorite counter, 81% with Hermit Yoda and Cal. I mean, I think you have Cal and then one other. I think Revan is probably the best. Well, 63%. I think that's a user, like a highly manual process to use Revan there, because you have clans and you have a cooldown increase. You just got to be careful. But Cal and Hodo working just fine. Fennec lead, I would caution anyone against doing that other than a cleanup of a solo Lord Vader. That's not really working nowadays. Bane crushes Lord Vader. That's funny. Bane is just in a league of his own. But yeah, JML or Bo, I'd recommend for Lord Vader as best value, not Fennec. Finn, I don't want to look at this one too long. Let's do Zori and Resistance Hero Finn. Aphra pretty good, but not invincible. 87%. Dash on Chewie, decent. Standard Imperial Troopers. I mean, my gosh, Standard Imperial Troopers have like no place anymore. This is not initiative meta, like first turn speed meta. It's like durable, tons of damage, survive the hits, and give them back yourself. That's the meta we're in. Traya's crushing it. Jedi Revan, yeah, Jedi Revan with Mace, really just dumpster fires. Zori, that's to me that's enough to have a hard counter to make it iffy on defense at best. Nice is just 61% with Marin and Daka. Oh yeah, Jedi Revan just easily takes it. And then there's like these A tier S tier teams like Reva and Malgus that are just fine. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, that's kind of a trap. 63%, I wouldn't trust it. Wampa 44%, not gonna do it myself. Qui-Gon 72%. Rex 5's 85. Enoch 45. Yeah, I mean it's an okay team, but it's nothing crazy good. Okay, Malgus, at this point you gotta use Darth Revan. And I'd say Malik to stop many counters. Let's do the tank revive. I think that's going to be the most popular, and yes, it is. So Sith Eternal, to me, that's usually, I use that a lot when I see Malgus. Just easy to zap both the tanks. Gas, 51%, even with his stronger two clones. JML, 78%. Jedi Knight Luke with Jedi Cal, 69%. I wouldn't trust it. See Solo, 93%. A lot of people want to use gas, but with Echo and Arc, it's even worse, 16%. Jabba's easy. I mean, JMK and Slicker are easy. Well, JMK actually has some failure conditions, 89%, because you get the one insta-kill, and it's not a perma-kill, and then you have to hope you ramp enough damage over time to kill them both. And that's easier said than done. Probably an auto run. Bane crushes it. But there's not too much that handles Malgus. I mean, I like Malgus on offense too, because he handles a lot of S-tier non-GL teams. But he is not trivial on defense. Bo-Katan struggles 60%. There's not too many instances I'm looking at anymore, but Malgus is solid whether you put him on offense or defense. Reva, Grand Inquisitor and Seven Sisters selected. Going to add Grand Inquisitor Kron, the wordy level 6, and the tankiness level 3. So I'm picking all three because it's just a clear-cut best. Bonus turn has its places, but on defense, I think the wordy thing. 56% for Traya. That is a tough sell. Bo-Katan crushes at 95%. Super valuable, and that's why I like to take Bo-Katan on offense too, because there's flexibility there. She just handles a lot of problems. Malgus, which is thought of as a Reva counter, only 47%. Bane slam dunk 100%. So Bane is always an option. Bane can do everything. He is Superman. Sith Eternal does worse than Bane, 88%. Bane is supposed to be a lifter to Sith Eternal, and he does better than Sith Eternal, which is just so funny. Reva Mirror, 78%, but I think if you went in without the wordy level 6, you'd do a lot better, because they would get deathmark themselves and you wouldn't. Lord Vader with Maul and Royal Guard, 82%. Slicker with Hux and Crew, only 28%. Gungans, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Gungans with Boomadir and Tarpals, not even Jar Jar, 87%. That is great value. There's no Gungan Kron right now. Let's just putting those bad boys in there, those frogs, and just rolling over them with the electro balls. Yeah, no, that's top-notch value. Because if you do Jar Jar and Tarpals, it's only 26%. I think I made the same observation the last 3v3, that it was like the two attackers without Jar Jar did better, and then I forgot which team I had been talking about with that. Yeah, Gungan's amazing value against Reva if you do it. Okay, Great Mothers. I'm gonna add Morgan and not really filter by anything else because it's kind of varied. But people are using Spirit by and large. Bulkiness, pretty popular choice. JMK easy. Darth Revan seems to be easy. Bastilla and Malak, not even Malgus. And as I showed in my TW video, you need Darth Revan lead for the death mark. So that's pretty good value there against Great Mothers. Lord Vader with Maul, crushing it. Slicker, great option. Reva, got it. Traya, only 56%, so I wouldn't dice that. Great Mothers, not quite what they were last season, to say the least. I mean, they were juiced to the gills last season, but there's plenty of options for them now. So they might be better on offense because they are quite potent if you're not letting your opponent pick exactly what to use against them. But yeah, plenty of stuff looking like it. Okay. So that's Great Mother. Start your Moff Gideon. He's no longer propped up by Datacron, but I'm going to filter by Gideon and Scouts and probably the bulkiness. I know, starting with 25% turn meter, so a lot of people are doing that. So let's look at that. This is a team where I can see it benefiting a lot from getting out ahead. But Radis still does pretty good. 81% with Cassian and Jin. K2SO is a lot worse than Cassian, 53%. Bo-Katan, pretty easy win, 100%. Malgus, 100%. Leia, 100%. Traya, 97%. Well, the thing here is Radis is pretty easy, so it might not be worth it to start with. Dirt True Moff Gideon on defense. Because, yeah, Radis does not have many other uses. So if you put a team that Radis can handle easily, you have cost your opponent nothing. Yeah, Grandmother's easy. And we're getting down to small sample size, so let's move on. Rex, I think Qui-Gon's kind of the quintessential counter. So let's see how many people are actually using that. Yeah, that's the main counter, 96% win rate. Defending Datacron primary. Yeah, there's no consensus pick there, so I'm just gonna leave no particular Datacron selected. Gas pretty easy. Sith Empire. Maul with Garn ISC working pretty well. Sith Eternal working pretty well. A lot of A-tier S-tier teams just are good against it. What are some teams you shouldn't use? Okay, CLS you should not use. It's like 5%. That is with standard Han and Chewie. Aphra you shouldn't use, 30%. Bad Batch probably not, 51%. Qui-Gon with Mace instead of Cam, that's only 71%. Because you need that big hit single damage. Big single target damage. Yeah, Radis not working. So don't do Radis, don't do Imperial Troopers. Probably don't do a Mirror, don't do Gidme. Don't do Enoch. Wow, even Queen Amidala, only 85%. I say only, but that's kind of low for her. She's an amazing team. Okay, Rex, yeah, if you bring Qui-Gon, you're just fine. And Qui-Gon is not super great on defense anyway. Iden, I actually want to just check like one particular comp. I want to do, where's Magma Trooper? There's some people using magma. Well, actually, let me filter by the most commonly used. Level 9 people. So people are using a lot of Snow Trooper, Turn Meter, and let's not filter by Grid. Let's just filter by the Turn Meter and the Snow Trooper Cron. Radis, pretty good, 80%. Wampa, 70% when there's Short Trooper, but only 42 when there's range. But Radis with, well, let's put range in there. Filter range seems better. Traya gets it easily. Gas gets it easily. Radis with Baze and Jin seems pretty good. I wouldn't set Iden. I did like in Kyber 1, maybe Kyber 3 or 4 or something, but maybe not even there. It's just too easy, even with like a specific datacron going on. Yeah, a lot of people just use Radis and it works well. So not big on Iden. Tuskens, these are a potent bunch. So Raider and Warrior, I'm gonna add the Chieftain Cron. That's clear best, and Turn Meter I don't care as much, so I'm just not gonna filter for that. Gas with Rex and 571% with Arc and Echo 57. So yeah, that's a good gas draw. Like people think they can do it, and it's not quite clear cut. Revan, as long as you have Cal and Jolie, looks like you're pretty well off, 98%. But if you don't have Jolie, you're liable to die and not have a way to come back. Bo-Katan gets it done 100%. Use Beskar armor there for the perma-kills. Malgus easily handles it, obviously. Same as Sith Eternal. Aphra, 63%, probably not worth it. Lord Vader solo, pretty reliable, 95%. Bosk, no, only 18%. Traya, only 58%. It's just hard. I don't know, it's hard to beat Tuskens. They're a good defensive team. Reva, only 36%. Darth Moff Gideon, only 27%. So yeah, this takes down a lot of meta non-GL teams. It's a great defensive team with the Tuskens. All right, now we got Bosk, the superstar with Dengar and Zam. Omicron only is why you should use Zam. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Well, actually, what's some others? Yeah, max health and protection. Kind of even between the stun and the offense boost from defense. So I won't select it. Rad is pretty good, 71%, 74% with K2SO and stuff. Cassian. So that's a pretty cheap counter. CLS, 4%. Traya's got their number. Reva's got their number. Darth Moff Gideon, no. Dash on Chewie, no. CLS, 3PO and Chewie and 3PO, no. Malgus, yep. Queen Amidala, yep. Aphra, no. GL's pretty much gonna be fine. Bo-Katan, 89%. Starkiller, 96%. Rex 5, 75%. Qui-Gon Jinn, 48%. I'm surprised. I thought Qui-Gon Jinn might be a little better. Malgus has it wrapped up. Wampa's a 0. Enoch's a 58%. Probably because eventually they'll kill Enoch from AoEs only. Yeah, Great Mothers, 94%, so that's pretty easy for Great Mothers. Yeah, but I mean, it's no joke. I mean, you really gotta overkill it in a lot of cases. I'll skip CLS, he's way too easy. Well, let me look at him with the CLS Cron, but I think he's just way too easy to beat by Iden. Yeah, I mean, Iden's 89% with Death Trooper and a Range Trooper. Dash on Chewie, 90%. It's just too easy. Like, they don't have enough durability to take the punches. Darth Moff Gideon, 100%. Yeah, I think CLS, 3PO, and Chewie are like the 3POs is just a gift to your opponent if you set it, even with his Cron. Okay, Mon Mothma, let's filter by Luthen's the only way that this is going to be viable. Some people still left POW. Add Cal Katarn. I don't think we have a specific Datacron that's best other than the, as survivability. Reva 100%. Wow, gas without Rex and 5s is 27%. With Rex and 5s, it's 80. Bo-Katan 92. There's so many. It feels like there's an infinite number of Bo-Katans because every one of these I'm seeing Bo-Katan everywhere. Bo-Katan, Bo-Katan. GLs are pretty much gonna lock this down. Traya is gonna lock it down 100%. Director getting only 55%, so I wouldn't risk that. Starkiller 87. Bane obviously has it. Malgus only 71. That's pretty low for Malgus. Malakos just fine, 100%. These are lower sample sizes, but yeah. Anytime you see Luthen, you have to respect it. Let's look at Enoch, Death Trooper, Iridia, and Night Trooper, and add bulkiness. Turn meters also on there. But Malgus is the go-to, and Trey is good too. Darth Revan, without Malgus, still 98%. It's like, it's an infinitesimal difference in the success rate. They're both pretty equal. Starkiller's getting done. Bo-Katan. Torture Malkini is only 62%. Queen Amidala, yes. Radis, no. To me, if I see this, I use Malgus. That's my instinct. Go right away. Reva, 100%. CLS, 3PO and Chewie, and C3PO, 95%. Wow, that's to me, that's almost worth not setting Enoch because of that, because CLS is so low value right now. That's crazy. Dang. I guess the blind really helped shut him down. A standard Padme with Ahsoka, Snips, and Kenobi. Man, this is not a great defensive team. Yeah, no, that's kind of a stinker. Yeah, oh. What time is it? I need to take them off defense after seeing this. Whew. I can do something else with them. Dash. Look at Dash Han and Chewie. Getting crushed by Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. Radis is up there. Gas pretty dang good. Gungans have it. Radis with K2, just fine. 69. What's stand out? Enoch pretty good against it, 95%. Yeah, I'm gonna take Enoch on offense, and if I use it at all, I'm not gonna look at Radis, Keller and Beck. I don't think they're that great right now. But Saul, look at Luthen and Kyle. Adding Southern Master Protection and Riposte, because they are quite good with Riposte. Reva and Bo-Katan are pretty easy. Gas is pretty good there too. So a lot of these A tier, S tier teams are fine, but you're gonna have to be hard pressed after that. Don't try Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. That's a 0 right now. CLS, 12%. There's not too many instances of this team. I guess that's only for the particular Datacron slice I have. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. I definitely got stuck on one. I had to use Bane. JMK, so a lot of people left Plo, but you should not do Plo. So I'm gonna look at just JMK or GK and Cat. Let's do bonus turn for Ufu. So Amir is 86%, Reva is 82%, Leia 97%, Baylan easy. Bo-Katan 100%. So yeah, JMK I would say keep on offense because there's just too many non-GL options. Even with just 2, like it's crazy. Like Bo-Katan crushing it, that's insane. You probably need the Omicron where you're gonna get a revive. But yeah, Jabba not having it. Not too many people are putting JMK on defense. Admiral Trench. I mean, it's like. Look at Django and Watt. Now, a lot of people are doing Watt, so let's do Django and I don't know, Dooku, Django Kron, Health and Protection. Aphra is easy, Gas is easy, Gungans are easy, Starkiller, Jedi Revan's easy, Dash on Chewie's easy. Yeah, not great defensive team. Bad Batch 89%. That's enough to say just don't sit them at all. Let's do Palpatine Starkiller with Starkiller Kron. And that's going to be quite good. I'm not going to select the level 6 because there's a couple of good options there. JMK, Reva, C, Mirror are all good. Malgus only 15%. I mean, this is a strong defensive team. Like, Slicker only 47%. Jabba 78. I mean, if you do put this on defense, I don't know what a good go-to is. Man, Queen Amidala only 64%. JML 50%. Sith Eternal with Scion and Watt 81%. Yeah, I mean, Starkiller is solid on defense. The only reason I don't want to set that is because I need Smash Bros to handle Super Ray. I'm not going to look at Sortie or Grievous or Newt or Talzin. They're all super high win rates against them in general. Or Maul. Let's look at Gas. A lot of people just throw Sith Eternal at it or JML. Starkiller. CLS on Chewie. Maul. Jedi Revan. Like with Cal. Jedi Revan with Cal is going to be easy for that too, so. Yeah, Gas, I have mine on offense. I don't think it's a great play for defense. 72% for Gar and ISC. That's the highest I've seen in a while. Well, Enoch does a lot better if it's Arc and Echo, 92%. Okay. Glat, as she has been deemed. The best comp that we saw was Ezra and Sabine. And let's add Ahsoka's Datacron. I'll leave the level 6 open. Wow, Leia's still only 70%. That's interesting. I thought Leia was supposed to hard counter. But Padawan Sabine is the damage dealer. 98% for Sith Eternal and Bane. So this could be one of those instances where you actually want to use Sith Eternal and his lifter together, because everything else is really low. Sub 50% for Slickers. Even a Mirror. My goodness. Slicker, Marin, and Zombie. Out of 7 battles, it's 85% win rate. But yeah, that is a dire situation, actually. I thought Leia was a lot better than this. Wow. So yeah, Leia or Sith Eternal Bane if you really want to be safe. What else? I don't have too much. Let's do Bastilla, Watt, and JML. Reva is pretty good. With Reva, you want to kill Watt or do Ready to Die before he can give out the tech. And then you just have enough damage to get through. Sith Eternal, 51%. The trick to beating this, you can beat it. You do have to delay ult a long time because Sith Eternal gains mastery for enemies with Deceive taking turns. So if you go ult too early, like right away, like you probably can, you'll never have enough damage to get through. You can't insta-kill JML. So I would recommend doing that. Just really stall out the ultimate until like 2 minutes or a minute and a half. JMK, like basically 100%. Slicker, easy. Leia, easy. Bane, easy. Anything that can like ramp their damage an insane amount is going to be fine. Queen Amidala is great, 98%. JML, not really an option. Sith Eternal, Sith Eternal solo, 77% has a higher win rate than Watt, and I think that's fine. I think as long as they're not really a threat to kill anything. They're just a stall team, a timeout team. But Sith Eternal, I would feel fine since I know how to approach it. I'd feel fine doing Sith Eternal solo against that. Yeah, bow not working. Yeah, the more people you add to Sith Eternal, the worse it gets. Because you need the enemy to take turns. You don't want yourself taking turns. And Watt adds a lot of animation time. I think that's probably why it's worse. All right. Traya. A lot of these awesome defensive teams are on this lower end because people aren't setting them. I guess they're like they really want to keep them for offense. Traya, Nihilus, and Savage. If I see it, I use the Eternal or Slicker. That's just what I do. They're just so good. JMK works well. Slicker Solo 87.5. It's kind of risky. Leia works fine. It like they demand a GL. It's not JML. It's not Jedi Master Luke. Yeah, there's just no real good non-GL counter. I mean, Bane, sure, but yeah. So Traya, I love them on defense. Let's look at Baylan with Merrick and Shin Hati. Let's add Baylan Kron, Soldier Fortune, and Health Protection. Actually, let's take off the mercenary thing and Health Protection. Let's just do Baylan Kron. I was having too small of instances, or too small of a sample size. Reva 87% and Slicker 90 and Bane 93. So those three, I think, are going to comprise your best options. JMK is absolute no-go and 6.25%. Don't even bother. Malgus, Starkiller, Malgus, Underseer, 100%. Great value. Gungans, 28%, although it always seems better when I use it. Maybe I have good Gungans, I don't know. Bo, you got outside shy, 57%. Great Mothers, nope. So yeah, just a few options that you can rely on for Baylan. Other than that, you're toast. So Aphra, I like using Aphra BT1 and Hondo with Hondo Kron, and I've gotten a lot of holds. So let's just see what's good against that. Dash on Chewie is only 67%. CLS on Chewie 39. A lot of people try that because they're used to gunning down Aphra. Then you're done. You basically have one, but there's two high initiative characters that you need to take care of. So you have to pick one or the other. Torture Mopkin, 70%, Reva 100, and Bo 100. Gungans have it, 88%. Malgus, yeah, a lot of S tier, A tier teams. But it's definitely a good draw against something with Han and Chewie. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's about it that I wanted to look at. There's plenty of other teams, but you know, this video's already gone on long enough. So I hope this helped. Just me kind of thinking out loud and going through these results. It does help me feel more prepared for the upcoming set of matches. I know I'm releasing a day later than I have been, but hopefully that's not too late to help some people. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you later.